first day that we arrived at Chippewa Park for the first day of recordings. It was about maybe a half-hour drive in the morning from our hotel to Chippewa Park. Chippewa Park's located on the shore of Lake Superior, next to Thunder Bay, just down from Fort William First Nation. And there's my beautiful wife, Laura, who's closing up the truck. And a big thanks to her. She's the one that organized all the travel, all the accommodations, and all the other arrangements that went along with putting this recording session together and getting the guys up here from Toronto.
You have to love the beginning of a recording project. This is the unfun part of recording. Just unloading gear, making sure everything's set up.
You wearing burgundy today?
No.
All right, my turn to shot.
I'm wearing green, you're wearing red.
My name is Adam Gomori, and I play bass for Nadjiwan. The week of the recording was particularly grueling. It included the Star Nation live video recordings at NV Music Hall, performance on the Thunder Bay waterfront with JC Campbell, performances at Live from the Rock with both Nadjiwan and JC, on top of recording the album.
Here, maybe.
Would this side be easier? Because I have side. They're fine. I think, yeah, I'm good.
As long as the videographer's not standing in front of it.
I turned it up, though.
So we basically trucked up a recording studio from Southern Ontario. I drove up with the band gear, and Ron Skinner drove up with the recording equipment.
But 120 is the tempo.
Ron always brings beautiful equipment to record with.
I just couldn't hear it. I hadn't turned it up enough. You know, it was like when I could hear it sometimes when I was.
This isn't the first time that Nadjiwan has recorded an album in a less conventional space. Back in 2017, we recorded Tomahawk Rock in former schoolhouse/town hall in Sparta, Ontario.
My name is Jean-Paul de Roover, and I'm the guitarist and backing vocalist for Nadjiwan. I remember these recording sessions because they were very stressful, particularly for me. It was just a whirlwind of a time. Everything was kind of coming to this nexus point. Not only did we have a live taping of the band the day before at a venue in Thunder Bay called Envy, where we had to perform all this material that had been written and rehearsed and released over the last year or so. But then we also had to perform that live in an energetic way in, early afternoon.
I loved this drum kit. This is one of my favorite kits I've ever put together. This is JP's drum kit, supplemented with some of mine.
One of the most challenging parts of this recording session was that this was the first week of August, and it was extremely hot in Thunder Bay that week, including the recording space that we were in. So hence the shorts and short sleeves. The other main challenge being in that space is that there was a ton of flies, just house flies in there that kept landing on you during takes, and you'd have to kind of swap them away, and hopefully they don't get in the way of the performance. And on top of all that, I was still recovering from heat stroke that I had got the day before the recording session began.
Once we got into the actual sessions, it was a blast. I mean, to be able to have brand new material where we could all workshop them a little bit, that was something that's very new for me, for this group anyways. Because Nadjiwan as a band usually gets a chance to do some live rehearsals in Toronto. Me being in Thunder Bay, I usually get the tail end of that, so they'll have a couple of rehearsals together, then they'll start the recording process, then I jump in at the very end, add my 2 cents on guitar and backing vocals, and that's about it.
My personal favorite song to record on this album was Crests of June. The song feels close to home and makes you think of our longest days of the year spent on these inland seas that we call the Great Lakes. There's a familiarity to the song, but it looks outward and evoked images of coastlines of Greek islands and palm trees.
Everyone tries to play brave.
The most challenging song for me on this album was definitely The Great Sea. While 6/8 time is not the oddest time signature, the kinetic and ever-moving nature of the bass line made it challenging. I think the result on the record helps to convey the stream of consciousness type feel that the song has.
So for these sessions, there was still an element of that, where we'd already sort of gone through some of the development process of these tunes, but then we got together in the room and, recorded them together, made little tweaks here or there. Again, we hadn't done that since Tomahawk Rock. To be able to have that environment where you could be together, make eye contact with one another, really feel the energy as people are sound waves are bouncing off the walls in the space you're in.
swallow you up like a hurricane and spit you out when she's through. Sometimes it's hard to see the details when you're looking from the clouds above. Everyone is looking for perfection. Everyone looking to hide their ugliness.
In this track in particular, I tried to make the crashes of the cymbals and the bass drum and the hits all feel like the lake, like thunder, lightning, and the water. At times, this became a very warm room to work in, so you were always happy when you got to the end of the track.
My favorite song on the album overall is King's Highway 17. This is the perfect driving song that captures both the beauty and desolation of rural northern roads and traveling on them. Canada is such a large country that it makes sense a lot of the best songs written from it are centered around roads.
Yeah, it was just a great experience to be able to have everybody together again. For me, it was a nice change of pace for not having to travel to Toronto for these sessions. It was nice for everyone to come to me, to my backyard for a change.
Overall, the week was super successful. We got the album in the bag. We took maybe 3 or 4 takes per song, as is usual for Nadjiwan.
All in all, we had a great time recording out at Chippewa Park. It was great to get the guys all in the same room together and create some wonderful music. Big thanks to Ron Skinner, who engineered and co-produced the session, as well as a big thanks to Mack Davis, who was the assistant engineer, as well as my guitar tech. We couldn't have done it without you, Mack. And a great big thanks to the band. You guys are some of the most amazing people I've played with in all my life, and I hope we get to do this a lot more often in the future and create more records together.